think I'm most looking forward to like that Safari Zone style gameplay kind of making a return where it's like you can throw the bait at the Pokemon. There's like a lot more interaction with the wild Pokemon in general. I don't know if dying is gonna make a return though. Like it's gonna be weird. Like if the game is really set entirely in Lumiose City, like they say, how are they gonna handle things like alpha Pokemon? Like I guess those just like won't be a thing, or they'll have like a different version of them.
That's a fair question.
That is a really good point.
You wouldn't expect like at Legends Arceus, you're out in like the wild in ancient Japan, like death is like an actual threat. But like here, it's like if you just jump off a building that's too high, will you die? Like
maybe like will I walk down a wrong alley in Lumiose City and in front of a bunch of NPCs get beaten to death by a Scrafty? Is that gonna happen?
Maybe
it might.
Are they gonna take away the ability to die?
We've speculated that like there could be some sort of incorporation or some sort of like maybe the alpha Pokemon have a new name, but they kind of explain it through the power of Zygarde or through the power of Mega Evolution. Maybe some of these alpha Pokemon have Mega evolved and are being enraged due to their like forced Mega Evolution, and maybe that's whatever the evil team is doing.
That lines up with the anime too, honestly, like the Volcanion movie.
I almost wonder if it's going to be a much more like trainer-focused Legends game, because Legends Arceus was very like wild Pokemon focused. There's almost no trainers in the game.
Yeah.
But this one might be like, well, there's substantially less focus on wild Pokemon, but you get like to battle a lot more like powerful foes who use Mega Evolution more often.
I think that's totally possible. Yeah. I think that's definitely possible because
it makes sense too, because it has to be more battle focused if they're gonna do Mega Evolution, you know?
Yeah.
They really left us with like so many questions with all because it's just like it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense to what we know with Legends. We're just like, this doesn't compute.
Well, I think what happens is
entirely in Lumiose City it should function the same way.
Well, I feel like so many aspects that we associate with the Legend style are really just like aspects of Hisui, right? An ancient, what do they call it? Feudal Japan, right? It's this like it's like this medieval Japanese inspired place, right? And we get to see this ancient Sinnoh, which is already a very spiritual place. So I think all of those aspects, which I like a lot, right? Like I like dressing up my character in the what was it? They're wearing like these like ancient robes or this like old school. I forget what it's called. But like, yeah, I
want to get wrong because there's kimonos and there's jimbes. I don't know which it is.
Maybe they were jimbes. I'm not sure. I forget what they're called in the game. But like that's an aesthetic style that's like cool and fun to play within. But I think instead, all that really might the only thing that might really carry over is like the character movement, the crafting, and then I do think alphas need to return. I think alphas was in some way, and I guess also these noble Pokemon as well, right? And again, they might be called something different. I kind of like the idea,
like having some sort of like real time gameplay aspect and not
a boss.
That has to be
a boss, you know.
That has to be that has to return, right? That's iconic. And
I really did appreciate how it's like you could just go straight fisticuffs with the Pokemon, or you could battle them traditional way.
You could, yeah.
It's a neat way of presenting that.
And I think it'd be kind of interesting to see these nobles were actually like, if they position Zygarde as almost the antagonist. And then at every stage that you battle it, it's like it's 10%, at 25%, 50%. Actually, I don't even know what the forms are. Is it 10,
it's
10,
50? 25, 50.
Okay, yeah,
no,
and
10, 10, 50, 100, I mean.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe they throw in a couple new ones.
Which is odd because I fully expect them to have like a Spirit Tomb type thing, but with the Zygarde cells. Like I think,
okay, that could work too.
Possible.
Yeah. A lot of people have been saying like, what if Zygarde Core is like one of your starter Pokemon, and like you kind of like develop it and like you use it as like your ride Pokemon as the game goes on, kind of like Miraidon.
Yeah, like Miraidon and Miraidon. Like you just have it there with you the whole time till the end, probably. I could see it. For the whole death thing, I'm thinking if it was set in like a dystopian crazy future, if it was set in that, it's possible that you could be like, oh, the Pokemon are going crazy in this future and they're like attacking us in our city and all this stuff.
I hope but again, it's not the vibe the first trailer gives.
It's not.
Like, it just seems weird to me. Like, I'm sitting there right in front of a cafe, there's a woman sipping tea, and I'm getting mauled to death by a Pyroar. And she's just kind of...
Yeah, that's not... I don't think that's what it's
I mean...
All we know...
But, like, I don't know, with those games, it's like there's like what's on the front, you know, and then there's like, oh, but in secret there's Pokemon attacking people, like kind of like Detective Pikachu kind of vibes, where it's like, oh, we live, you know, harmoniously with Pokemon, and then they just get attacked.
It's gonna be like a series of like side quests and mysteries that you need to solve within the city,
which would be fun.
Yeah, maybe
it would be fun.
I mean, it also gets easier if they incorporate like a sewer or catacombs area.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's possible. I think we really get hung up on like what the scale of Lumio City is going to be. But I think if you look at this picture right here, right, this is in the main town. What is it, Jubilife Village? Like,
the only one.
Imagine this. Yeah, exactly. Imagine if these structures right here, these houses, which are already pretty, you know, they're not totally to scale, but if we were to assume this scale will carry over to Legends EA, just imagine it's the same size but way taller because it's a building, right?
The scale,
and then you have a bunch of them.
The same, I think.
I thought you were gonna say these Magmars with Scrafties and they're just kicking you in. Like
that could happen. Yeah,
they're the Scraggies where you've got like the mob boss Scrafty just kind of sitting in the back where Magmortar is.